EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Set, 19, 24, and let's go.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
We're set. 19, 48, not here. Check, and go.
Now it's Watson. Going for the deep ball. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Being chased out left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. Here we go on fourth. Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 18 yards on fourth. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down.
Check, check. Lucky. Check 26, check 26. Hey, we got
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Watson now to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 31 yards there and a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good. Yeah. Backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a big shot.
Fights off the defender. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Now this time he'll look to throw. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Prescott. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Go. Set. 19.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Now he'll escape to his left. And I think the ball's out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, 31. Come on up, man.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
To the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Watson. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Randy Gregory able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Right there. 54.
Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing. But there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
41 Mike. Here we go, D.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott lets it fly deep for Cobb. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Let's go. Watch out. Eyes up.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6, Watson. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Switch.
To throw on third down. Watson steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's Austin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on what should be the final play of the first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 12 yards there and a first down.
Kill. Mike 41. I've got a wedge that.
Prescott on first down. They'll roll him out right. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Elliott a first down and more. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 17 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 11 yards there, first down. A first down carry now for Miller. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go deep. This is caught inside the 15. And down to the 11. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 42 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Miller. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Now he's forced out left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Now Watson. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. Back now in Houston. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Tavon Austin, 62 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
First down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again,
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third and long, it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And a big 32-yard play on third. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practice.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 47 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Buying time to his left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Anthony Brown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Prescott to throw this time. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. He's picked up. It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Houston Texans. Here's Tuck. One away.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On first down, Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, and that'll bring up second down.
Set. 19. 3 bucks.
Throwing again, it's Watson. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Chris Wormley. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. To throw is Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 72 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
And he's got some space. There goes Mark Ingram. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, 55 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start...
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Chris Wormley picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Watson off play action. Now he's flushed out left. And he's going to go down again. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Being chased out left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Irvin to return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Check right. Double tight. Hey, we got 3 down.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And he's got Snead. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from the 20, and the Ravens have taken the lead. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. On 2nd and 7, Watson under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Pernell McPhee. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Here's Watson throwing on 3rd and long. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. On second down, Ingram. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 10.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And an alley to run. And he's into the clear. The 20. And he cuts left, and he's got an alley. And he cuts middle and creates some... And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 98 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And that carry of 98 yards is now tied for the 2nd longest in NFL history.
Ahman Green did it, I believe, in 2003 when he was playing for Green Bay.
Against the Broncos, I think.
And just face it, no matter who was running the ball, for that distance, give them some oxygen as well as the touchdown. What a play.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Watson. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Forget for him now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 17, Jackson. And that's incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Tucker's kick is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And his pass incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here, and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. To throw is Jackson, escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And how about this line out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the 4th.
No, not going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. Now he'll escape to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. Still just a 2-score game in the third quarter, but they're going to go onside kick here anyway. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tackle there by Breanne Body Calhoun.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This time Jackson will throw it. Flushed out right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Breanne Body Calhoun. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, really the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in, but the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
They are going for it. Here's Watson. Buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Tim Williams. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the second straight play. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now this time he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will bump the lead up to 11. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Watson now to throw. Forced out to his left. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 37. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back now in Baltimore. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Faking the give. Now Watson rolling to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
At the 24-yard line.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you, at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Taking it in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field.
He's got a man, complete. 33 yards that time. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Watson on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This to make it a 2-score game. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
The Texans take over.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
To throw is Watson. Off play action. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them. and continue to get better at what they do, but they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.